like you said, you lose a job impromptu, and maybe you're the person who is the breadwinner in the family. You sit with the feeling, you accept, you then start working from there. You motivate yourself. How do I move forward? How can I turn this pain into power? How do I power myself up? You then create the habit of now which meditation aims to create, the power of focusing on self or calming self, because now most of these traumas, they decenter you. They give you emotions of you're now not enough. They cut you off because you're not enough, you were not doing enough, or you were doing too much, you were just too extra. So you decenter these emotions, and now you discipline yourself to realizing the current situation you're in. Then you do find yourself acting from that, rising from your own ashes. It doesn't take 1 month or 2 months. For some people it might take years. But when you do these two processes together, you realize that you handle the effects of trauma much better. And that's why we tell people to go into therapy whether life is going good or not.
Okay.
Because now if that happened when you were in therapy, you had someone to fall back to, you had someone to tell. And talking to people is always the best. It's always a starting point, yeah?
It's another day, it's on Tuesday, and it's time for another edition of Financially Rewired podcast. I'm your host, Derrick. On today's episode, I think the face today is very familiar. We had an amazing conversation last time where we talked about mental health and how our mind is interconnected in us attaining success. So today, we want to talk about something else. We want to talk about therapy, meditation, and how everything that helps you calm down your brain to think things through straight can help you in attaining financially freedom or finance freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, welcome Miss Wanjiku Muiruri, or hey, that second name is
you got it right.
Muiruri.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast again.
Thank you for having me again. It's a pleasure.
Wow. Let me ask you a more general question. And for the past 2 episodes, I've been asking the same question, and I've been getting the perspective from men. Now on a perspective of a lady. Of late, men have not been spotted in clubs as before, and on the other hand, people are saying that Gen Z men are now in church than in clubs. To some girls, it's like men are broke, they don't have money to go to parties. One of my guests said is that men have woken up, they have realized clubs are wasting their money. According to you, why is it that currently there is a trend of men being rarely spotted in clubs and are now being spotted a lot in church?
In my opinion, being that I am spiritually centered, or I'm growing spiritually, our generation is being called the Joshua generation. We're the generation that is getting people to Canaan, or we are the generation of change. As cliche as it may sound to people who are not spiritually focused or interested in their spiritual path, the generation now has proved in multiple ways, even politically, that they want to end so many things. Like it ends with us, and the new things start with us also. So our older siblings, the millennials, wanted it to end with them, but they didn't know how. But we are ending it, and we're already creating what we want, the new norm, in also social aspects. And that's why you're finding so many youth, especially the men, realizing and connecting with God, and finding focus in God. Maybe because of finances, but also when a man realizes that he needs to be led by something first so that he also can learn how to lead. You only learn by seeing, by doing it. Yeah, you learn by actually practicing how to do it. So when you learn to be led, you lead better.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the same line, I can term that as transformation.
It is.
When we think about personal transformation, how would you define it?
I would define it as changing how you behave, changing the normal of your behavior, the norm of your feelings, the norm of your attitude toward things, in the goal of improving yourself. Yeah. The main goal should be improving yourself. So if your change or your behavior or your attitude is detrimental to you, then that's not transformation. But if it grows you, it uplifts you, then you are transforming yourself.
Is transformation more of physical transformation or internal transformation that matters? Because sometimes I think we are not able to see the internal transformation, that we quit so early.
I think it's concurrent because, for example, even a laptop, for it to have a keyboard that's functioning or a screen that's functioning, the motherboard has to be in check. So for us to see the physical results that we seek, we have to have internal transformation, and that is having discipline for what we want. If maybe you want to see physical transformation in the gym, how resilient are you internally? What feelings do you have about working out? What behaviors have you set? What patterns are you setting to ensure that you are consecutively going to the gym? Yeah. What habits do you embody to ensure that it's all round? So I feel like the internal fuels the external success.
Okay.
Yeah.
People believe, I think 75% of people I've interacted with believe that to begin any process of transformation, I need to undergo therapy at some point. What role does therapy literally play in helping someone begin the journey of transformation?
Therapy is like maintenance for your emotions or maintenance for your feelings, especially because, okay, first of all, therapy is not something you go to when you're crashing, because that's what we do. Like you said, people feel that in order for me to be transformed, I must go to therapy. But you can even start therapy when you're feeling everything is going so well. I need to go to therapy to maintain the good feeling. So therapy helps in keeping maintenance. There's a guy I was watching just recently on Instagram. He's called Ezra. He's done some series that people really like. I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called something. And he was talking about how for him, therapy is like a boxing match, where with therapy, there is a coach who rings the bell and then calls the two boxers and tells them, so you're doing this wrong, you're not doing this right, change this, change that, and then sends you back in to do the fight which is life now in this perspective. But without therapy, you're going on and on and on without someone who is being like, you need to pause, you're not doing this right, you need to add this, you need to improve on this. So therapy is just like the pause button, or the maintenance, comes, does your cleaning in life, or tells you where you need to improve, where the pain is at, and then lets you go on with life.
Therapy helps in healing emotional wounds.
It does help.
Let's talk about emotional wounds and how they may deter you from achieving what you want to achieve. And basically I'd like to understand how to even spot these wounds.
Okay.
Because you might be going through something that you'll shun it off, and maybe it's something that you need to address urgently. How do you know that whatever is hurting me is something emotional that I carry within myself?
So therapy helps you identify what the emotional wound is linked to. So you might know that you have emotional wounds, but you don't know why or what they're about. But how do you know? You know when it deters your normal activities. For example, the way you would handle a situation if you are angry. You come to a realization that I get really angry and I act out of proportion, or I act in a way that I am not happy with. That you realize that I do not know how to handle anger, or you realize that emotions are making you, for example, if you're with someone, you're seated with them, they're smiling, they're happy, and all of a sudden they start crying. You realize that this person does have wounds and there's something that is bothering them and they're not acting as their norm. So when we go indifferent to the way our normal activities are, you realize that there's something you need and you need attention to it. So when you go to therapy, the therapist listens to you and helps you. You are the one who comes up with a solution, helps you come up with a solution for how you will solve or tap onto the cause of the wound. So maybe, for example, you are raised, maybe you are firstborn at home.
Yeah.
You know, firstborns are mainly the first child. So most parents are just like, we don't know what we're doing, we're just trying. And most times you find a parent be like, don't do that, don't do this, watch after your siblings, you're not doing that right. So, but they're trying to help this child navigate life, but because they haven't done it before, they're doing the best they can. But sometimes most firstborns are more wounded. Yeah. And so when they grow up in life, they find themselves having a hard time taking up decisions confidently. They might know how to lead, but they are always commenting negatively towards how they lead. Okay. If I step on you, let me know. Sorry if I have done, sorry. They are always apologizing. Yeah. They're always, they're doing it, but they're doing it with a lot of self-doubt.
We're talking about therapy, and the fact that most of us view therapy as the last resort when the world is totally crumbling and have no hope. This is the last resort. I personally think it's wrong. And I've been trying to think, how can we reframe the idea that therapy is the last tool of resort, but rather see it as a tool for growth and evolution, instead of seeing it as a tool of last resort when everything is not okay?
How I think the easiest way I can put this is, you don't have to wait for your house to be dirty, dusty with pigs walking all over it or anything so that you can do cleaning. You don't have to wait for your house to start stinking for you to clean it. That's the same case with your heart, with your feelings, your behavior, and your patterns. Therapy should be something that helps you maintain yourself, your internal self. And therapy is a growth tool, or a tool that will help you balance or understand, even out your internal, your external. So it shouldn't be a last resort, but we welcome you anyway. Yeah, the realization that you need therapy is also a start. It's never too late. It's not that because you did it too late you shouldn't do it, but it goes out to tell everyone. This is going out to tell everyone that therapy can be important for you even when everything is going well in life. Therapy doesn't have a stop. Doesn't mean that because I have realized that my wounds come from maybe the way my teachers used to speak to me when I was young, or the way I was always left alone or something like that. Doesn't mean because you realize what the problem is then you stop therapy. It only means that This is your pedestal for realizing, okay, I've worked on this, now I need to work on that. I will improve on this, I will minimize on this, these are my triggers, and all that.
I think therapy goes hand in hand with meditation.
Yes, it does.
A concept that is often misunderstood. Could you maybe explain to us how meditation rewires the brain and supports us for a personal change?
So meditation, or the goal of meditation, is allowing you to find clarity, or finding the strength to focus with self. So meditation is aimed at tapping within and denying strengths to distractions, because mainly, especially let's use the example of wounds, like emotional wounds. Emotional wounds are like noises in your head. Having fear, having anxiety, doubting yourself, all that is like noises in your head. You're trying to focus on something, but there's this noises in your head. So the goal of meditation is to drown those noises and to help you focus on yourself despite the noises, trying to have the discipline to identify that this is what deters me, but I want to have the discipline of understanding that I can calm myself, I can have clarity, I can pause, I can instead of being angry when someone is speaking to me, I can wait for 2 minutes, breathe while when I feel the anger is rising, and then respond. Mainly you find that people who do meditation have a lot of discipline in how they make their decisions, how they respond. They are more aware, they are more conscious of their surrounding. You will find them being very keen. Even when something triggers them, they realize. It's not that they don't have wounds, they do, but they quickly realize that is something that triggers me and I do not want that. So they slowly but calmly drift away or excuse themselves from a situation.
There is a connection between emotional balance, productivity, and success.
There is.
What is the connection?
When you're emotionally balanced, it's just like I said, your external success is fueled by internal regulation. So when you take care of your emotions, it means that you're able to think clearly. You make risks, but you make careful risks. You make better risks. You often make decisions not irrationally, but you pause to make decisions. They say people who don't overthink too much are more likely to be financially successful than those who overthink. Because someone who takes risks, most financially successful people will tell you, I saw the deal, I analyzed it, I was interested in it, and I went for it. However risky it was. So they didn't overthink it. But when you're having emotional imbalance, you will start, is it right for me? What if this? What if that?
Yeah.
So when we have the balance, we realize that I'm interested in this, I will give it a try, then you will know that you're successful. And besides, you will never know if you're successful if you don't give it a try. And giving it a try is determined by being able to realize that I want something and I go for it.
Is meditation and therapy crucial in helping conjoin the three?
Yeah, because therapy helps you understand where your emotional imbalances lie and helps you know how to balance that or try to balance that. Because again, therapy is not coming here to make you perfect.
Yeah.
And success of therapy is slow and gradual depending on the person. It's never the same. There's no linear way to it. And meditations help you with clarity, help you with focus. So if I am working on regulating my emotions, then I'm disciplining myself to think clearly and to focus and to calm myself if maybe some thoughts drive me into overdrive. Then I become successful. I become more productive.
Through my growth journey, together with people I know, I think the biggest thing we face is fear, especially fear of the unknown. Sometimes anxiety. But I think the biggest thing we face in life is financial stress. The moment you look at your bank account, you look at your M-Pesa balance, and you're like, I cannot even afford a meal for the next 1 week. And the fact that you don't know where that money will come from, maybe you don't have a job, or you even lost a job, gives you a lot of stress. People even die out of that. They kill themselves.
True.
How do you use meditation and therapy to address the three?
Well, fear and anxiety are as a result of they're the exhibition or the signs that there is something that needs to be addressed. There is some maintenance that needs to be done, or they are the signs that show you that you need to talk to someone or you need to handle the situation. They are the early signs. So when we talk of last resort and early resort or early realization, those are the few things that you need to note. So when you go into therapy, it helps you understand how or what triggers your fear, or try to understand what triggers your fears and how to handle it. I wouldn't say cope with it, but I'd say how to handle it, or how to realize when it's coming in. So fear and anxiety in total. And financial instability, I would say that is one of the major things that drives people into some of the wounds even.
Yeah.
So therapy also can help you tap into what is your fear of, because lack of money is also a fear.
Yeah.
So what is it that you want to address? Like, how do you want to handle the situation? Why does lack of money trigger you? Or what is it that you wish you would do different? Or what would you like to do different? And meditation can also help you with that. Sitting with self and realizing, okay, I'm broke and it's really bothering me. So what do I want to do? There was a time I was feeling financially stuck myself. I'm not saying I'm financially stable or wealthy or free.
Yeah.
But I was telling a pastor of mine, and he was telling me, Wanjiku, okay, I see that you are aware of what is bothering you, because it was stuff. I see you're aware of what is bothering you. So now, what do you want to do about it?
Okay.
What is the solutions that you want? And meditation is like the mental gym or the emotional gym for that. So the more you do meditate, you realize, okay, this is what I want to do. By the way, meditation doesn't have to be you sitting down, crossing your legs, burning some candles that are scented. No. Even taking a journal and sitting with your feelings and writing down your thoughts, that can also be meditation. Listening to some soft music, you're not watching anything, you're not doing anything, you're just with the music and calm music, and you're letting your thoughts work the way, positive thoughts in this sense. You're trying to stay away from the negativity. You find yourself seeking solutions. You find yourself realizing, okay, I have a problem, but this is the direction I desire to have. And now meditation helps you find the focus to work on that direction.
Okay. I think you've already given us some of the meditation practices. You know, basically for me, I used to think meditation is like waking up early in the morning going to the beach, sitting there, trying all means to listen to the waves. And then someone told us over, how is it called? Okay, I think there's a book written. It's the monk practice. Someone said the sitting position that the monks gave, crossing your feet, your hands on your
Stretch
knees.
out.
Yeah, I think that's the most comfortable way to meditate.
Well, it is. They are the authors of it. They are the creators of it. They are the ones who embody it the best, and they are the ones who are the most disciplined, by the way, in whatever they choose to do. Like, monks live a life that is so disciplined. Like, you wouldn't find them falling into things that they do not subscribe to in any way possible, because that life of meditation is taught to them, some of them, when they are very young. So yes, the position does help, because it helps you. There's something we call body scanning, or being in the present with your body. Sometimes anxiety comes in because you're not here. You're physically here, but you're mentally not here. You're thinking of all your worries, of your troubles, of your things. But body scanning, you feel yourself, you feel your body, you realize, okay, I'm tensing up, I need to relax, I need to breathe, I need to rest my shoulders, I need to sit upright, or I need to breathe, take a deep breath,
Yeah.
I need to take, I need to pause, I need to, for example, there are people who, let me use myself as an example. I know there's times when I am feeling anxious, especially when I'm speaking to a crowd. I find myself speaking too much and I can't even catch a breath. So when I realize it's happening, how I realize it's happening is that I feel like I have a lot of saliva in my mouth. So I know it's coming. I know the shortness of breath is coming. So I pause. Even if I'm saying something, I'll just go silent for a minute. And then I'll take down the saliva or swallow the saliva, and then I'll breathe, and then I'll continue speaking. And you realize it helps, because now you're realizing that you were not there. You were not there emotionally. You were just there physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
In your experience, how powerful is it when you combine meditation and therapy together, rather than doing one alone?
One is the maintenance guy, and the other one is the health guy. So, like, for example, you need to stay in a clean environment, but you also need to eat healthy.
I get it.
True.
Yeah.
So therapy comes in and tells you, so this week you got angry, or you felt down, or this week you really handled that argument much better than last week. Or when you go to therapy, you realize when you're talking to your therapist, you are speaking to yourself better, you are noting things down better. And then maybe you have been speaking to yourself better because you have been writing it down in your journal, which is meditation. Because maybe you have been taking those walks in the beach that you were talking about, and sitting down with yourself, stretching those arms out and taking in that sweet sunlight, and you realize you're happy with the present. You're not running your mind to the future, or what will I do, what will happen. So they go hand in hand. One maintains the discipline for the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still on meditation therapy, can someone tell if they are truly evolving mentally or emotionally?
Yes, you can. How you tell whether you're evolving is when you realize that, one, you're creating healthy boundaries. You're realizing, like I said, there's people who see an environment is not suitable for them and they withdraw. That is a very good way of noticing. When you realize you handle arguments or triggers, because it doesn't have to be argument, you handle triggers much better when you realize that you are self-aware, not self-conscious, self-aware, that you're aware of what builds you, you're aware of what hurts you, you're aware of what you require to grow, you're aware when you need to pause, where you need to motivate yourself, you're very aware of yourself. 2, when you are, what did I say? I said when you're aware, when you create boundaries that are healthy, when you handle arguments better, when you do start making, getting out of your comfort zone, doing things that you would not do before, things that normally you would tell yourself, I'm not made for this, I am not created for this, or I can't do it, I won't do it, postponing, when you get out of your comfort zone.
After failure and trauma, we usually feel like the world is over. Let's say you are employed, the job was going on well, you are delivering, you are this guy or this lady everyone looked up to in the office, to an extent whereby you feel like my promotion is not far. Then out of nowhere, COVID comes. The company has to cut out people.
Yeah, that happens.
So the same red line that passed on the graduation list passes in the office, and your name is just below that red line. Like if they could have said, let's cut from here, I could have remained. From a psychologist angle, how would you help someone who is facing such?
First, you have to realize that it does affect you. Accepting that it has affected you, because some people are like, it's their fault, it's not mine, and even let us just give you by their loss. You battle with accepting or sitting with the feeling. You say sitting with it, you battle with sitting with it. So you accept that it does affect you. You realize that you need to decentralize the effects of it. So for example, like you said, you lose a job impromptu, and maybe you're the person who is the breadwinner in the family. You sit with the feeling, you accept, you then start working from there. You motivate yourself. How do I move forward? How can I turn this pain into power? How do I power myself up? You then create the habit of now which meditation aims to create, the power of focusing on self or calming self, because now most of these traumas, they decenter you. They give you emotions of you are now not enough. They cut you off because you're not enough, you were not doing enough, or you were doing too much, you were just too extra. So you decenter these emotions, and now you discipline yourself to realizing the current situation you're in. Then you do find yourself acting from that, rising from your own ashes. It doesn't take 1 month or 2 months. For some people it might take years. But when you do these two processes together, you realize that you handle the effects of trauma much better. And that's why we tell people to go into therapy, whether life is going good or not.
Okay.
Because now if that happened when you were in therapy, you had someone to fall back to, you had someone to tell. And talking to people is always the best. It's always a starting point. Yeah.
As we wrap this up, many of us chase success externally and often neglect the internal or the inner world.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
What would you tell us? Most of us will just chase success based on what we see, forget how we feel.
I'll say this. I think I've said this before. The internal success is only brought by, the external fulfillment is brought by nourishment of the internal self. So how we are productive on the outside is fueled by how we take care of our emotions, of our feelings, how we behave. Constant. If you balance it out, then you're fully successful. But if you focus on one and leave the other, you will not feel fulfilled. So there's people who will focus on therapy, but again, like for example, if I focus on therapy but I'm not putting in the work, I'm not putting in discipline, then I will still feel like there's a gap. So they have to go hand in hand.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. Finally, someone feels stuck.
Yeah.
The year is ending. It's literally December. You sit down, you remember the notebook had written 2025, this is my year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Out of the 10, only one thing is what you did. 9 go unaccomplished. And you are in this position of what's wrong? You don't know whether to carry these 9 things, get them done in 2026, or do what most people do, scrap off all these 9
and write a new one.
And write a new one.
And set.
Write a new one. So, if I come to you and I'm at this point of trying to figure out what next, what is the first step you'd advise me to take?
First of all, realizing the realization that you're stuck is the first step. It means you're aware of yourself. That's self-awareness, by the way. Realizing that I'm not okay. I am feeling like things are not going well. That is the first step. So when you realize, then you seek help. You seek help. If maybe you are not, sometimes help can be expensive, sometimes help can be far away, sometimes you haven't gotten to that place of seeking help. Find someone supportive who you can talk to, who you can tell your fears, your worries. You can also journal how you're feeling, if you're feeling stuck. So what about it is making you feel stuck? In which areas are you stuck? So hapo kando penye uliandika hizo 10, go down just below, write why do you feel you're stuck, or why did you not achieve the 9, and why did you achieve the 1, and how does achieving the 1 make you feel? Did you celebrate achieving the 1? Maybe that's the reason why you're feeling stuck. Because again, how we celebrate ourselves matters. Sometimes we dwell so much on completing, like I said last time, we dwell too much on the goal, and then we achieve something, we move the goal, we have not celebrated what we have achieved. So if I was, by the grace of God, I have achieved 1 out of 10, I have achieved something. And then again, by the way, personally, and this is personally, I don't conform to the idea of giving yourself a list of things to do at the beginning of the year. And then weighing yourself at the end of the year, because I mean, let's take ourselves pole pole. I mean, let's give ourselves a break. Let's give ourselves a break. This world is not okay. God gave us the world; it's ours. But can we take ourselves slowly? Can we go one pace at a time? Give yourself grace. Journal. Plan your day if you can. Even on your phone, you can do that. Early in the morning, text yourself, I want to make sure today I write something nice about myself. I want to, there is even apps for that these days on our phones. I want to make sure I read at least 1 paragraph. I want to make sure I go have a coffee date with a friend. It's the small steps that build us to and plunging ourselves from that hole. It's
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
What message do you have for our people as we end the year?
What message do I have for us? I would say please give yourself grace. Love yourself, because you have to love self first so that you can give love. And please learn how to be kind to yourself so that you can be kind to others. And please go to therapy if you
if you can.
if you can, please go to therapy and try to meditate. It's the discipline.
Yeah.
It's the discipline that matters. And Merry Christmas to you and your family.
And a happy new year.
And a happy, blessed new year.
Okay. I think that marks the end of our today's conversation. We had a conversation with her approximately, I think it's 11 days ago or so, when that conversation was aired. We were talking about, before you chasing success, what are some of the things you need to fix within yourself for you to build that persona that is ready to embrace that success? Because there is a terminology was given. If I give you today 10,000 shillings or 100,000, have you built your capacity to a level of multiplying the 100,000, or you still have the capacity of only holding 10,000 so that the 90,000 will be lost? So there are things I totally believe we need to fix within ourselves before we chase success. Before you chase the $10,000, have you built your capacity to that level? You cannot have a mindset of living in a single room and if you want to build a mansion. It can't work. Nature gives you things to the level of your capacity. That's why even Jesus' disciples were able to build capacity for them to enter heaven. Till I see you next time, my name is Derrick.